Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Black Pig Printmaking Studios here in Somerset in the UK. My name is Chris Pigg, and today I'm going to be teaching you about parallel lines. That just seemed like an awfully dull thing to be telling somebody, but if you're into lino cut and you're wanting to put in any kind of mid-tone, you've only got you've got two choices. You can either lay down some parallel lines, linear, or you can stipple. That's it basically. Stippling is quite easy. I will be doing a thing on that. Parallel lines, not so much. But I'm going to try and take you through this. It has taken me years and years to learn how to do this well. So, as Eleanor Roosevelt said, learn from other people's mistakes. You haven't got time to make them all yourself. So learn from me, because Christ Almighty, I tell you, what I'm telling you this afternoon is worth one year's worth of an undergraduate degree, I reckon. Right, so first of all, I'm going to be teaching you how to use two different tools. One is a 12-1. 12-1 is the rudder that steers our ship and does everything amazingly. And an 11-1, also quite gorgeous, but a bit more limited in the sense that because it's a U-gouge, it can only lay down a single unified tone, which is advantageous at times. Anyway, so first of all, I'm going to show you something that other people do, and I don't do so much because I've had about, I don't know, 2 or 3 decades worth of experience just doing fucking parallel lines. Oh my God. So what people do, and I sometimes do, is every now and then, about every 10 strokes or so, just do a line in pencil, which kind of ensures that your lines don't go too far astray, all right? Now, I can, because I'm a smarty pants who's been doing it for a very long time, I can give you a straight line like that. But if I was laying down a grey tone, a mid-tone of some sort, I wouldn't dream of that because it's way too out of control, too what people who aren't anarchists would call anarchic. But because I am an anarchist, I would call chaotic. It's capitalism that's chaotic, not anarchism. Anyway, blah, 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 blah. On with the demonstration. This part here is the face of the blade, and it's what does the cutting. So I'm going along what I've cut already, but what you can do, and this is, look, most of this is to do with confidence in one way or another, and if you're feeling unconfident, then that's when you're likely to fuck up with your cutting, right? This gives you the confidence. What you need to do is let the face of the blade lay in the line that you've already cut, and then just nudge forward bit by bit. That way, you can check every few strokes to see that you're on course. Right? Now, if you're right-handed, most people are, then you need to be working from left to right so that your previous stroke is visible to you as you cut your second one. Now, don't expect any virtuosity here because I'm teaching and cutting at the same time. And that's the way things tend to fuck up. Sorry, I was just going a bit too ahead of myself there. You want to be nudging, see, and look, I've gone too far apart. You want to be nudging forward slowly and cautiously just to keep your lines level, right? It doesn't matter if your lines go too wide, too much. You want to keep them as straight as possible, but wide is okay. Too narrow, and then what will happen is one line, I almost can't bear to do this actually because it's too traumatic for me, is when you go too close to one line and you find it falling into the other. That, my dears, is fatal, because when you're looking at the whole grey tone all over, you'll suddenly get a really obvious screaming out at you area, bit of white coming out of it, which is just not okay. All right, so that's why you need to. That is why you need to keep edging forward cautiously and trying to keep your lines as straight as you can and as even to the line before as possible. Okay, now with an 11-1, same sort of thing. It's wide, it gives you a wider effect. You see, the thing is with a V gouge is you can get lines as fine as that, which is hardly even there, through to that. You see, so if this is your first tool investment, invest in a file 12-1, because you can do almost everything with it. In fact, I did for about 15 years. I think I only had a 12-1 and a couple of numpty red handle gouges for clearing, right? Now I've got loads of the bloody things all over, and it luxuriate in my forms of expression. Now an 11-1, which I like to use as a stippler mainly, but also this will give you a nice parallel line. But you can't really vary its width. Now, when it comes to tonal gradation, or to choosing a tone, you would think it's true to an extent that the closer the lines are, the lighter the overall effect is going to be, right? But more importantly, it's the width of the lines that you put down are a much better guide to the lightness or darkness of an individual passage. I think I've exhausted the subject now, so it's goodbye from Black Pig, and I wish you all a happy evening.